Hello everybody, welcome back to another reading video. I haven't done one of these in a while and I'm sorry. There will be a couple more coming within the next week, which I'm really excited about. But we're here. I have been seeing so many people do this and I have been wanting to do this myself. And we are going to be tier ranking every single book that I read in 2022. So I read 44 books in 2022, which is very good for me. My goal was 24, so to read 44, pat on the back, honestly. My goal for 2023 is 50. I'm already 3 books ahead according to my Goodreads, and here's to hoping we get better than 50. But anyway, so I created a tier ranking chart, and I'm gonna go ahead and start screen recording and we'll do this together. I think it'll be kind of fun. So yeah, let's just get into it. Alrighty, so we are recording now. So as you can clearly see, I have my categories. So I have Changed My Actual Life, Won't Shut Up About. That's literally books that I probably think about once a day. I literally think about them once a day. I want to be in their world. I want to go back to this. I probably will eventually reread. That's like kind of how I think about it. The next one is So Freaking Good, which is still a step down from Changed My Life, but like still a great book. I still really enjoyed it. Probably would consider reading again, but also recommend to basically everyone. I have enjoyed a lot at the time because I feel like there's a lot of books that I see on my Goodreads now that I rated really highly, and I look back and I'm like, why? So obviously that's enjoyed a lot at the time. I have Just Fine, forgettable, really basic. It was all right. Was I happy I read it? Maybe, but it was there. And then Ew, Never Again. That's like my below 1 stars. Like if Goodreads I could give a 0 star to some things, I would. So I actually have these basically in the order that I read them. Some of these I kind of remember, some I don't. But yeah, so let's just get started. So the first book we have here is Stephen King's Salem's Lot, which I'm a huge fan of Stephen King. I actually think arguably out of all of the Stephen King books I've read, I think Salem's Lot is my personal favorite. I recommended it to a couple of people that have asked what Stephen King books to read. So I'm gonna put this one under So Freaking Good because I personally really like Salem's Lot. I thought it was the right amount of spooky, but also like still good. Like, cause sometimes I feel like Stephen King's endings can be a little funky. This ending was funky, but in an okay way. Like I was okay with it. So for Stephen King, I liked it a lot. It was so freaking good. Next we have The Hollow Places, which is by T. Kingfisher. I really liked this when I was reading it. I kind of think I want to reread it now that I've read a lot of like horror. I know it's considered horror. It's not scary to me. At least it wasn't scary. It was very atmospheric. I did quite like it. I don't really know if I want to put it under enjoyed a lot at the time because I still think it's pretty good. So I'm going to put it also under So Freaking Good because I also did quite enjoy that. Next, oh god, I was in the midst of the Bridgerton series at this point. So this is Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, which I believe was the Penelope Collins story. Yeah, Penelope and Collins story. I'm gonna put this under I actually did. I think I remember liking this a lot more while I was reading it. So I'm gonna put enjoyed a lot at the time. It's not something I'm gonna reread. I guess I would recommend the Bridgerton series to people, but like it's 8 books and it's 8 books of basically the same thing over and over. But if you like the show, you'll like the books. Someone We Know, this is by Sherry Lapina. This is the only Sherry Lapina book I've read. I own another one I need to read. This was really good. I liked it while I was reading it, but honestly, I'm gonna put this one under Just Fine, forgettable really, because like it was okay. Like it was fine, you know. It wasn't like the best thing I've ever read, you know. Sorry if the angle or anything has changed. I had to change the battery. Hopefully I can edit the other video. I should be able to, right? Anyway, next up we have another Bridgerton. I was going back and forth between Bridgerton and other things. This is To Sir Philip with Love. I'm pretty sure this is the Eloise story. This one was also cute. I'm gonna also put this one under enjoyed it a lot at the time because I was very much so into the Bridgerton series when I was like going through this, obviously. So I think this was the 4th book. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, maybe the 5th. Yeah, I think it was the 5th. I think it was the 5th book. I think the Romancing Mr. Bridgerton was the 4th. I don't know. It was fine. Next we have Richard Osman's The Thursday Murder Club. This is a series I read the first 2 books. I haven't read the 3rd one yet. This one I loved. I'm gonna put this under so freaking good because I really did enjoy this one. I wouldn't necessarily say it changed my actual life, but I do really like it. I think it's a really good story. Oh god, next we have The Midnight Club. If you saw the Netflix series, I'm sorry, because I would say the Netflix series is a little bit better than the book, but not by much. This was terrible. I actually really hated this book. It was not scary. It was supposed to be horror. It was not. It was just not great. So ew, never again. I like this book, like actually kind of makes me irrationally angry because I wanted it to be something. I felt like there was such potential, and it ended up being more of like a weird teen angsty romance than horror. It was just, I did not care for it. Next we have another Bridgerton. This is When He Was Wicked. Okay, so out of all the Bridgerton books, I think this is Francesca's, right? Yeah. Out of all the Bridgerton books, it's probably my favorite. It was really good. It's the only book I've read that I actually cried at the end. Actually, the end made me very sad. The last like few words were incredibly powerful to me, and I don't know, it just made me really sad. I kind of want to put this under Change My Actual Life, but I don't think about it that often. So maybe I'll put this under So Freaking Good because like it was really good. It was probably the best Bridgerton book I read, other than like the first 2. The first 2 were really good. Next we have The Guest List by Lucy Foley. I have since read 3 Lucy Foley books. 2 this year, 1 in 2023, which I'll talk about at another time, obviously. The Guest List was easily the best one. I really enjoyed this one. I'm gonna put it under So Freaking Good because I really did love that one. Next Bridgerton we have is It's in His Kiss. Is this Hyacinth? Just fine. Forgettable, really. It was fine. I didn't even care for it while I was reading it. It was fine. Like, it was fine. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This was incredible. I wouldn't say it changed my life. I really think when I read this, like this was back when I was getting into fantasy again for the first time since like being a kid, and I would assume this is like an adult fantasy. So it was a little bit difficult for me to read, and I feel like this is something I would want to reread in the future because I feel like I'll definitely make better opinions and I'll formulate better ideas about it. I will put it as So Freaking Good because it was so freaking good, but as of right now, I think I need to reread that, honestly, because it was good. I think I wasn't like in the best headspace while reading it, and I want to go back in with that. Last Bridgerton we have, thank God, On the Way to the Wedding. This is Gregory. This was, I would put this one as enjoyed a lot at the time because I did quite like this one. It was alright. It wasn't like the worst one ever. I think Hyacinth's story was really boring, and yeah, that's just how I feel about that. Next, we have The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. Oh, I freaking love Grady Hendrix. I have his newest book right behind me. I'm like really looking forward to reading that. This was good. I enjoyed it while reading it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put it as So Freaking Good because I did quite enjoy this one. And this is kind of what like got me into Grady Hendrix. I really enjoyed reading that one. Oh, next we have The Summer I Turned Pretty. I really wanted to read the series because I enjoyed the Amazon show. It was fine. I'm literally gonna put just fine because the whole series was just, it was just fine. It's meant for YA, like incredibly like young audiences. So for me to read it now as an old woman was not, it just didn't speak to me the way I'm sure it would have spoke to me if I read it as like maybe a 15-year-old, but as a 28-year-old, it was not what I wanted. People We Meet on Vacation. I might put this under Change My Actual Life because I really love Emily Henry. This was the first Emily Henry I read, and I really liked it. Like, it was so good. I just really enjoyed it. I think about Alex and Poppy quite a bit. So I'm gonna put that one on that's the first one, Change My Actual Life. It was pretty great. Next we have another Thursday Murder Club. This is The Man Who Died Twice. This was also so freaking good. I really enjoyed this one. Yeah, it was great. I'm not gonna lie about that. Oh, The House on the Cerulean Sea. This one also probably changed my actual life because this is by TJ Klune. It was so emotional, but also just like so sweet. Like, the story was so sweet and I just really liked it. Did it actually change my life though? Yeah, we'll put it there. No, not there. So freaking good. We'll put it under So Freaking Good because it was so freaking good. It was cute. Now here we go. ACOTAR. Changed my actual life. The first book was so good, and I do think it's a book I'm going to reread in the future because I really enjoyed it. And I think it sets up the rest of the series so well. So yeah, that definitely changed my actual life. I'm not gonna shut my mouth about that one. Next we have Pet Sematary, another Stephen King. It was fine. It's not my favorite Stephen King. I felt obligated to read it because I haven't, and it's just a popular story from him, so it was fine. Forgettable, really, yeah. House Across Lake by Riley Sager. I feel like all my friends hated this book. I actually really liked it. I had a good time reading this one. I'm gonna say enjoyed a lot at the time because I really loved that twist. I did not expect it, and now that I'm looking back in retrospect, it was fun. It was a good twist. It was spooky. It was scary. I kind of liked it, so I enjoyed a lot at the time. We're back to Summer I Turned Pretty. What is this one called? It's not Summer Without You. It was just fine. Literally just fine. Forgettable. I could care less about those. Oh, Changed My Actual Life. Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. Changed my actual life. That book is so good. Easily my favorite romance I think I've ever read. It was so cute. I just really liked it. So, changed my actual life. Oh, speaking of changing my actual life, Court of Mist and Fury. If you read ACOTAR and you have not read A Court of Mist and Fury, you are missing out on everything. This book was changed my actual life. Like, that book is so good. I literally just want to reread A Court of Thorns and Roses just so I can reread A Court of Mist and Fury because it was so good. All right, and then the last of the Summer I Turned Pretty. What is this? We'll Always Have Summer. Whatever. I'm so bored. That series was fine. Like, it's fine. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. It was just fine. I read it because I never had and I wanted to, and it was just fine. The Silent Patient, I'm gonna put this under enjoyed a lot at the time, which might be controversial because I just really hated the ending. I really did. I know everyone really likes this book and I can see why. I just really hated the ending. It made me just I was just disappointed in it, honestly. So I enjoyed it a lot while reading it, but now I'm good. My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. This one was awesome. I'm gonna put this under so freaking good because I'm gonna move it obviously here. Come on. But yeah, that was a really good book. It was fun, it was funny, it was a little spooky. They have a show or a movie about it on, I think, Amazon. It's so 80s horror. It's just fun, and it's not really scary, but it's dorky and fun, and I don't know, fun's my favorite word to use for it. Oh jeez. Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I mean, that was literally, I know everyone's really on the Colleen Hoover train right now. That's the only Colleen Hoover I've ever read. There's a couple more I would like to try to read, but Ugly Love was just not it for me. It was just not it. It was not it. It was so terrible. I'm so sorry. It was just, I literally felt like I was reading porn. It just wasn't, there was no substance. It was just not what I wanted. I need some cherry coke because I'm getting a little choked up thinking about it. Terrible. I actually really hated that book, and I'm sorry. The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. So like I said, out of the 3 Lucy Foleys I've read, Guest List was easily the best. I would say The Paris Apartment was the second best. I'm gonna put this under enjoyed a lot at the time because it was good while I was reading it. It was a good time. Ooh, Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. That is so freaking good. I had a really fun time reading Rock, Paper, Scissors. The twists and everything were super fun. It was a good thriller. I had a good time, so I definitely think that's a good one. I have a hair on my lip, sorry. Sign Here by Claudia Lux. It was a debut novel from Claudia Lux. It was my first book of the month, which, love book of the month. I actually had a really good time reading this one too. I'm gonna put this as so freaking good as well because it's horror, but not really. It's I would honestly even maybe put it under thriller. It was very fun. It's literally about hell. It's just, I really liked it. It was really good. The Final Girl Support Group. Oof. I'm gonna put that under just fine because that's what it was. It wasn't my favorite Grady Hendrix I've ever read. It was very just fine. It was literally just fine. Ooh, Finlay Donovan is killing it. I really liked Finlay Donovan. I don't think so as Changed My Actual Life liked it, but it was very good. So I am gonna put it under so freaking good because I do really like that series. This is only the first one I've ever read out of it. I have the second one, but yeah, it was fine. I liked it. It was pretty good. Actually, so freaking good. I would not say fine anymore. It was so freaking good. Deadly Inside Scoop, I'm gonna put under enjoyed a lot at the time because it's a cute mystery. It's a cozy mystery. So I'm like very much so a thriller, horror, you know, romance, fantasy. I like everything. Okay, I like everything. But cozy mysteries are cute, but they're just not like something that I'm like really reaching for. And then when I read them, I'm like, oh, this is fun, I'm having a good time, but like I kind of miss like a thriller while I'm reading it, you know? So I enjoyed it while reading it, but it's just not like the best thing. Next we have Suburban Hell. I really enjoyed Suburban Hell. I will put that under So Freaking Good because that was actually like a little scary and it was fun. I had a good time reading that one. Ooh, The Perfect Marriage. I will also put that under So Freaking Good. I really had a good time reading that one. That was just, it was a lot. It was a lot and it was exciting. It was a thriller, lots of twists and turns. I had a great experience reading that one. Next ACOTAR we have Court of Wings and Ruin. I'm gonna put this one under So Freaking Good. It didn't change my actual life. It was a fun story, but you know, I understood why I had to read it, but like, it wasn't my favorite out of the ACOTAR series, although I did still enjoy it. Next we have The Wilder Women. Honestly, I'm gonna put this under just fine, forgettable really. It was okay. It was like a light fantasy. It's just, I don't know. I didn't really love it as much as I wanted to. It was about like a mom and two daughters situation. I have more explanations in my like reading wrap-ups if you actually want to like know. But it was okay. It wasn't like my favorite thing ever. Next we have the Inheritance Games, which I actually think I'm really up in the air about Change My Actual Life or So Freaking Good because I do really like the Inheritance Games, but I don't think it changed my actual life. Like, I don't think I'm like out here now actively searching for books by this author, which is how I was with Emily Henry, or like talking about this series so much, which is what I was with ACOTAR. So I'm gonna put this under So Freaking Good because it is so freaking good, but like it didn't change my life, but it was very good. Don't get me wrong. Next we have Book Lovers by Emily Henry. The only reason I don't want to put this under Change My Actual Life is because the reason I read it is because I loved People We Meet on Vacation so much. And Book Lovers was really good. I like really loved this one. So I'm going to put this under So Freaking Good as well because that's how I felt. In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. I think I'm also going to put this under So Freaking Good just because it was such a cute Christmas romance and like I had a really fun time reading it and it was just like, I don't know, it was cute. It was like about a time loop and stuff. It was fun. Just Like Magic was another Christmas romance. I enjoyed it a lot at the time, so I think I'll put that there. It was fine. It was cute. I didn't really like most of the characters, but it was okay. Kiss Her Once for me was, honestly, I think the reason I went into a reading slump in December. I'm gonna put this as under just fine, forgettable really. It was like a cute premise and I liked the thought of it, but it like put me into like an intense reading slump and I was very much so like over romance at that point. And then last but not least we have the novella, which is A Court of Frost and Starlight. Hot take. I'm putting this under just fine because I read a review on Goodreads after I finished this book that basically said that Sarah J. Maas like can sometimes make her main characters that you grow to love so much unlovable, and I kind of feel like that like weirdly happened for me. Like I didn't really care anymore, which is annoying because I cared so much throughout the first 3. So I'm putting that under just fine. But that's my chart. That's my tier list. I definitely stand by it because the 4 books that I have under Change My Actual Life, like I completely stand with. And I did have a lot of really great reads this year. I think You Never Again makes a ton of sense because I hated both of those books. But yes, that is going to be it for my tier ranking for all the books I read in 2022. I hope you guys enjoyed. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye guys.